The roadside map is sprinkled in the glove box, a faded receipt from a town we barely knew. Yellow leaves are scraping against the hubcaps. The ignition hums a low and steady blue. I saw the gold retreating in the rear view. The passenger seat is holding only dust. We spoke in circles till the words were hollow, and left the iron gears to gather rust. The highway stretches out like tired velvet, underneath a sky of bruised and heavy gray. You stood beside the gate with hands in pockets, with nothing left for either us to say. The radiator whistles through the silence, a copper scent is hanging in the air. I watched your shadow shorten on the gravel, while sunlight tangled in your messy hair. Oh, the hills are burning orange in the distance. The valves are clicking like a ticking clock. I am driving south to find a different season, across the miles of shale and jagged rock. The distance is a cold and heavy curtain. The engine is the only thing I trust. Between the shifting gears and empty spaces, our memories are turning into rust. The radio is catching only static, a ghost of some old tune from long ago. I lean my elbow on the cooling window and watch the evening shadows start to grow. The chrome is reflecting every dying ember of a sun that doesn't want to leave the sky. I passed the orchard stripped of all their harvest and didn't even stop to wonder why. There is a vintage ache inside the pistons, a heavy pull that drags against the wheel. It is the weight of every word unspoken and every splintered thing we couldn't heal. The crows are gathered on the leaning fence post to watch the taillights flicker and depart. I am just a driver in a rusted vessel with a map of winter etched upon my heart. All the hills are gleaming orange in the distance. The valves are clicking like a ticking clock. I am driving south to find a different season, across the miles of shale and jagged rock. The distance is a cold and heavy curtain. The engine is the only thing I trust. Between the shifting gears and empty spaces, our memories are turning into rust. All the hills are burning orange in the distance. The valves are clicking like a ticking clock. I am driving south to find a different season, across the miles of shale and jagged rock. The distance is a cold and heavy curtain. The engine is the only thing I trust. Between drifting gears and empty spaces, our memories are turning into rust.
Echoes thin like shallow glass above a table stained by years gone by. My oldest friends are shadows on the grass, while digital horizons paint the sky. I wear the suit like some discarded skin, a costume for a part I cannot play. The pixelated gateway calls within to wash the dust of common life away. My spirit wanders through the wire deep, beyond the borders of this hollow room, where ancient promises are ours to keep, and silent flowers in the circuit bloom. I am a stranger to the soil I tread, a ghost returning to a native shore. The hunger for the binary is fed, and I am bound to longing evermore. Ye speak of fortunes made and children grown, of houses built upon the shifting sand, but I have seen a glory quite unknown, the vast frontiers of an invented land. The heavy air of home is hard to breathe, the heart is cold despite the rising flame. I watch the golden tangled cables read around the secret letters of my name. The wine is sour and the talk is loud, the ceiling presses down upon the crowd. I look through windows in the solid wall, waiting for the motherboard to call. My spirit wanders through the wire deep, beyond the borders of this hollow room, where ancient promises are ours to keep, and silent flowers in the circuit bloom. I am a stranger to the soil I tread, a ghost returning to a native shore. The hunger for the binary is fed, and I am bound to longing evermore.
Screen door creaks a crooked tune against the rusted frame. Found your signature carved deep inside the attic window pane. All the photographs of curling up like autumn leaves in drought. The stories that we never told while trying to climb out. I found a copper penny dated 1964 beside the hollow space you left beneath the floorboards of the door. A heavy scent of cedar wood and peppermint remains, mixing with the cool and airy shadows of the plain. remains. The radio is humming low, a static from the hill. The kettle on the iron stove is whistling through the chill. I wear your denim jacket with the freight and silver thread, recalling every quiet word and every prayer we said. The road is long and dusty where the childhood spirits play. The golden light is fading on the harvest of the day. We are gathering the fragments of the years we could not hold, turning all the common stones into a mountain of pure gold. The clock is ticking backwards in a house that knows our name. Nothing stays the same but the flickering of the flame. The creek is running shallow now across the jagged stones where we used to skip the hours and ignore the telephones. The swing is hanging crooked from the oak tree in the yard, waiting for a heavy weight to push it twice as hard. I found a box of postcards that were never sent at all, marking down the seasons as the shadows started to tall. The clouds are moving heavy like a train upon the track, carrying some memories that we cannot carry back. The wind is blowing softly through the gaps inside the whir, telling us the summer had to stumble so the winter could fall. The road is long and dusty where the childhood spirits play. The golden light is fading on the harvest of the day. We are gathering the fragments of the years we could not hold, turning all the common stones into a mountain of pure gold. The clock is ticking backwards in a house that knows our name. Nothing stays the same but the flickering of the flame. Where the childhood spirits play. The golden light is fading on the harvest of the day. We are gathering the fragments of the years we could not hold, turning all the common stones into a mountain of pure gold. The clock is ticking backwards at a house that knows our name. Nothing stays the same but the flickering of the flame. The silver dust upon your sleeve still lingers like a ghost. Had traced the hollow shape of you, the one I wanted most. The clock is ticking backwards in this empty timbered hall. I stare at shadows leaning tall against the fading wall. This fixation is a heavy stone inside my winter coat, a bitter taste of salt and iron rising in my throat. I am tangled in the memory of a glance you never gave, walking through the garden of the things I couldn't save. Yes, I am drowning in this gray and quiet sea. The ghost of what I wanted is the only company for me. The ink is drying on the pages of a letter left unread. I am counting all the jagged words that we have never said. The sky is bruised and purple like a fruit about to fall. I am waiting for a phantom voice to answer to my call. Your footprint in the hallway is a scar upon the floor. I am pacing back and forth beside the latch of every door. The coffee in the porcelain is frozen into slate. late. I am early for the ending, but for everything too late. My fingers tremble, reaching for the hem of your attire. I am shivering in silence by a cold and deadened fire. The world is spinning slower while the stars begin to fade. I am living in the ruin of the promises we made. This fixation is a heavy stone inside my winter coat. A bitter taste of salt and I am rising in my throat. I am tangled in the memory of a glance you never gave, walking through the garden of the things I couldn't save. Yes, I am drowning in this gray and quiet sea. The ghost of where I wanted is the only company for me. Fixation is a heavy stone inside my winter coat. A bitter taste of salt, a lion rising in my throat. I am tangled in a memory of a glance you never gave, walking to the garden of the things I couldn't save. Yes, I am drowning in this gray and quiet sea. The ghost of what I wanted is the only company for me.
The sepia morning spills across the stone. A bicycle leans against a rusted gate alone. I found a snapshot in a dusty wooden door of a cafe that doesn't stand here anymore. The silver film is peeling at the edges now. A ghost of a smile beneath the tilted brow. The accordion player folded up his song. The velvet curtains pulled where we belong. I smell the rain on the cobbles of the square, the scent of old tobacco in the heavy air. Your leather satchel heavy with those paper maps, falling through the seasons in the quiet gaps. The clockwork heart of the city starts to wind, leaving the modern fever far behind. We are tracing lines on a cracked porcelain plate, walking through the shadows of the heavy gate. Take me to the city where the colors fade to gold, the only story that has never been retold. Underneath the bridges where the dark water flows, where the ancient spirit of the river grows. Keep the clicking cameras and the plastic light. I am staying in the sepia tonight. A gramophone is scratching out a hollow tune underneath the pale and cinematic moon. The baker sweeps the flour from the checkered floor as the latch is clicking on the heavy door. Your vintage coat is damp from the morning mist, a moment in the calendar that we both missed. No flashing screens to tell us where we ought to go, just the steady pulse of people moving slow. The ink is dry upon the letter in my hand, sent across the borders of a changing land. The trolley tracks are buried in the asphalt deep, while the restless spirits of the giant sleep. The clockwork heart of the city starts to wind, leaving the modern fever far behind. We are tracing lines on a cracked porcelain plate, walking through the shadows of their heavy gate. Take me to the city where the colors fade to gold, the only story that has never been retold. Underneath the bridge it is that the dark water flows, where the ancient spirit of the river grows. Keep the clipping cameras and the plastic light. I am staying in the sepia tonight. Take me to the city where the colors fade to cold, the only story that has never been retold. Underneath the bridges where the dark water flows, where the ancient spirit of the river grows. Keep the
The traffic crawls down 7th Avenue in a blur. Her heavy coat is draped across her narrow shoulders. The brass hinge on the door gives a rusted sigh. She finds a stool where the light goes to die. A upright bass is thumping like a bruised heart. The piano player tears the melody apart. She doesn't look up when the waiter leans in, just traces the rim where the glass is thin. The ice melts down to a puddle of silver. The clock on the wall is a cold-blooded giver. Every face in the room is a story half told, and the air in the corner is turned into gold. But the burgundy stays like a ghost of a kiss in a town that has never been easy to miss. She's drinking the shadows and swallowing time, waiting for something that won't cost a dime. Yeah, the velvet is warm and the midnight is deep, and promises are just something people don't keep. a stranger's face, looking for a way to leave this crowded place. The smoke curls up like a question in the dark, leaving behind a faint and jagged mark. The ice melts down to a puddle of silver. The clock on the wall is a cold-blooded giver. Every face in the room gets a story half told, and the area corner is turning to gold. But the burgundy stays like a ghost of a kiss in a town that has never been easy to miss. She's drinking the shadows and swallowing time, waiting for something that won't cost a dime. Yeah, the velvet is warm and the midnight is deep, and promises are just something people don't keep.
The taxi light fades down the wet asphalt street, leaving only the scent of steam and gasoline. I push through the heavy oak door where the brass is worn thin, and the shadow of a piano player begins to spin. A melody that doesn't care if you stay or go, just a slow crawl of notes through the road. There is a lady at the corner of the mahogany rail, tracing the rim of a glass with a hand so pale. She's looking through the burgundy depths of a drink at a version of herself she no longer wants to think about. The promises made in the heat of July, now cooling under this gray Manhattan sky. But the ice cubes melt into a watery grave, and there isn't a soul in this room left to save. Just the bitter red stain on a white linen cloth, and a heart fluttering like a tired night moth, circling the amber glow of a dying lamp, while the air stays heavy and the spirits stay damp. The saxophonist bends his back like a question mark, sending a jagged blue line through the velvet dark. He plays for the ghosts who forgot their own names, and the women who traded their fire for the tames of a quiet apartment on the high side, where there is nothing but the silence to hide. She signals the waiter for one more round, while the city above makes makes its frantic sound. We're down these stairs, the clocks all have stopped, and the masks of the daytime have finally dropped, revealing the cracks in the painted-on smile that she hasn't worn properly for a very long while. But the ice cubes melt into a watery grave, and there isn't a soul in this room left to save. Just the bitter red stain on a white linen cloth, and a heart fluttering like a tired night moth, circling the amber glow of a dying lamp, while the air stayed foggy and the spirit stayed dead. Melt into a watery grave, and there isn't a soul in this room left to save. Just a bitter red stain on a white linen cloth, and a heart fluttering like a tired night moth, circling the amber glow of a dying lamp, while the air stays heavy and the spirit stayed down.
The fields are mown and the heavy grain is stored. I have settled every debt and sharpened every sword. The dusty road is sleeping now behind the garden gate. I am sitting on the porch and I have ceased the debate. The ledger books are closed and the ink is finally dry. There is nothing left to borrow and nothing left to buy. I have climbed the jagged ridge where the bitter vultures fly. Now I watch the cooling embers as the morning wanders by. The hammer hangs in silence on the cedar paneled wall. I have answered every summons and I have heeded every call. The weary horses graze where the clover grows so deep. I have promises to finish before I drift away to sleep. My hands are rough and calloused from the labor of the years. I have traded all my sorrows for a cup that drowns the fears. The iron stove is glowing and the kettle starts to hum. I am ready for the shadows and whatever has to come. The barking dogs are quiet in the valley down below. The river barely ripples where the silver rushes grow. The weight is off my shoulders like a coat I used to wear. I can breathe the midnight fragrance in the stillness of the air. White light is washing over the stones in the yard. The battle is over and it was weary and hard. A deep sense of winning is resting in my bones, while the pale orb is shining on the kingdoms and the thrones. I have found the steady water that is flowing through my chest. pale glow is guiding a tired man to rest. The ticking of the clock is just a heartbeat on the shelf. I have finally made a treaty between the spirit and myself. A harvest moon is hanging like a lantern in the pine. I have tasted of the vinegar and I have drank the wine. The fences are all mended and the chimney smoke is spent. I am opening the window just to let the winter end. The ghosts of all my failures have been buried in the sand. I am holding all the mercy of the universe in hand. Don't tell me of the riches or the crowns of gilded gold. I have seen away the stories of the mighty are unrolled. I am satisfied with bread and the roof above my head, and the grace of knowing exactly what the ancient prophet said. The restless wind has died and the leaves have ceased to spin. This is where the ending starts and the better things begin. I am looking at the horizon where the dark and purple blend. Happy just to recognize a long forgotten friend. The barking dogs are quiet in the valley down below. The river barely ripples where the silver lushes grow. The weight is off my shoulders like a coat I used to wear. I can breathe the midnight fragrance in the stillness of the air. White light is washing over.
The floorboards groan beneath a heavy tread, while shadows stretch across the unmade bed. I watched the clock until the gears went numb, waiting for a tide that will never come. The silver spoon is tarnished by the air. A hollow weight is sitting in my chair. I tried to lock the latch against the night, but local ghosts don't need a flickering light. It is a shivering wire inside my chest, a frantic bird that will not find its nest. The sky is turning bruised and coming low. With every single thing I used to know, it is the silence screaming in the hall, the sound of plaster cracking in the wall, a jagged fever climbing up the spine to tell me that the world is no longer mine. The map is blank where landmarks used to stand. I feel the shifting of the solid land. There is no anchor in this restless sea, just the frantic pulse of what is haunting me. I asked the mirror for a familiar face, but saw a stranger standing in my place. The coffee's cold before the sun can rise. A film of dust is coating all my prize. I hear a step upon the gravel path, the slow arithmetic of coming wrath. The windows rattle in their wood frames, as if the wind forgot our ancient names. I hold my breath until the lungs turn blue, staring at the door that you walk through. It is a shivering wire inside my chest, a frantic bird that will not find its nest. The sky is turning bruised and coming low. At every single thing I used to know, it is the silence screaming in the hall, the sound of plaster cracking in the wall, a jagged fever climbing up the spine to tell me that the world is no longer mine. A shivering wire inside my cliff, a frantic bird that will not find its nest. The sky is turning bruised and cunning low, with every single thing I used to know. It is the sun screaming in the hall, the sound of caster cracking in the wall, a jagged fever climbing at the spine.
The morning has grown a jagged edge, a pale sun climbs across the garden hedge. I find you waiting in the gravel drive, the only splash of gold that stayed alive. Tucked beneath the blade of blackened steel, a silent passenger against the wheel. You must have tumbled from the highest oak before the city felt the soot and smoke. Pinned down by a hand of heavy glass, watching all the hurried people pass. A brittle scrap of autumn held in place, the tiny mask upon a metal face. The sky is turning gray as a charcoal sketch. There is a weary line, the shadows etch. The engine hums a low and steady drone to carry what the north wind might have blown. But you stay fastened to the moving pain through the sudden rush of icy rain, the solitary flag of faded sun before the winter work has quite begun. Hold on tight against the rushing gale, a paper ship that has no choice but to sail. The wipers clear a path for tired eyes to see the changing shape of hollow skies. You tremble as the rubber sweeps the view, but still the tension keeps a hold on you. A souvenir of what the branches lost before the coming of the silver frost.
a charcoal sketch. There is a weary line, the shadows etch. The engine hums a low and steady drone to carry what the north wind might have blown. But you stay fast into the moving pain, through the sudden rush of icy rain, a solitary flag of faded sun, before the winter work has quite begun. Hold on tight against the rushing gale, a paper ship that has no choice but sail. Incense curls like smoke around the ancient stone, where gods of cedar bark and bone sit on a silent throne. I knelt before the altar with a heavy coat of dust, trading every hollow vow for a blade of sacred rust. Then I walk down to the water where the light begins to fail, to cast away the broken skin and shed the winter veil. Oh, the river runs deep beneath the arches of the span, carrying the shadow of a long forgotten man. From the steeple to the gutter, I am finding my own way, born again in silver mist, where the cold current sways. The gospel of the weeds and a cathedral made of rain wash away the iron scars and the memory of the chain. Gospel of the reeds and a cathedral made of rain wash away the iron scars and a memory of a chain. The mud beneath the bridge is where the secret spirits bloom, away from stained glass windows and the suffocating room. I saw a dragon made of twilight, dancing on the ground, crawling through the cracks of all the boundaries of time. No more bended knees for statues carved by greedy hands. I am rising like a phoenix from the gray shifting sands. Oh, the river runs deep beneath the arches of the span, carrying the shadow of a long forgotten man. From the steeple to the gutter, I am finding mine own way, born again silver mist, where the cold current sways. The gospel of the weeds in this cathedral made of rain wash away the iron scars and the memory of the chain. Oh, a river runs deep in
Small town dust on our worn out shoes, chasing shadows with nothing to lose. You were the sister I never had, sharing the secrets of the good and the bad. We drew our maps on the kitchen floor, dreaming of paths past the old screen door. Time grew cold like the summer corn, leaving the place where our souls were born. I settled down in a valley below, while you caught a wind that began to blow across the maps that we colored in red, following whispers of words unsaid. Now you stand in the golden haze of 1,000 miles and a different maze, with a silver ring and a silken gown, walking the streets of a distant town, where the spices hang in the heavy air and the sunlight tangled in your hair. My heart is heavy with a sudden pull, the cup of memory is overflowing full, to see you shining in a foreign light, far away from our quiet night. The world is wide and the world is deep, and you have promises you meant to keep. Under the arches of a painted gate, beyond the borders of a common fate, I see the pride in the way you move, with a brand new rhythm and a deeper groove. The little girl from the gravel lane is dancing now in the warm Gulf rain, through a lens and a digital screen, the brightest colors I have ever seen. You show me markets of cloth and stone, making a kingdom all of your own. The language is strange, but your smile is clear. The girl I knew is no longer here. We find the corner where the lanterns glow, where the sailors talk and the spirits flow. An amber glass in a crowded room, where the heavy jasmine starts to bloom. You tell your stories with a joyful tongue, no longer the child when we were young. Now you stand in the golden haze of 1,000 miles and a different maze, with a silver wing and a silken gown, walking the streets of a distant town, where the spices have.
The wire ridges bleed into the grave where the jagged skyline used to play. I trace the veins of a dying leaf, holding the ghost of a shared belief. The soil is thirsty and the birds are gone, while we build our towers to mock the dawn. But my pulse is tethered to the ancient pine, a heavy longing that stays for time. The rivers are choked with the weight of our pride. There is no corner left for the spirits to hide. I carry the ache of the mountains in flight, searching for a spark in the gathering night. Oh, let the winds wander where they will. The iron chains are quiet here. I am bound to the earth, all silver thread, moving through the ruins where the giants bled. Unchained and restless under wide open skies, healing the ground where the innocence lies. Love is the anchor and the storm is the key to set the heart of the valley free. Iron and glass cannot replace the rain, nor the holy silence of the grassy plain. You were a shadow in the cooling wood, telling the stories we misunderstood. Now the smoke rises like a funeral shroud, and the cries of the forest are screaming loud. Yet I refuse to be a hollow machine. I'll fight for the mercy of the emerald green. The oceans are mourning the salt of their tears, counting the cost of our forgotten years. I carry the ache of the mountains in flight, searching for a spark in the gathering night. Under wide open skies, healing the ground where the innocence lies. Love is the anchor and the storm is the key to set the heart of the valley free. The wild ridges bleed into the grave where the jagged skyline used to play. I trace the veins of a dying leaf, holding a ghost of a shared belief. The soil is thirsty and the birds are gone, while we build our towers to mock the dawn. But my pulse is tethered to the ancient pine, a heavy longing that stays through time. The rivers are choked with the weight of our pride.
corner left for the spirits to hide. I carry the ache of the mountains in flight, searching for a spark in the gathering night. Oh, let the winds wander where they will, be iron chains on the quiet hill. I am bound to the earth by a silver thread, and moving through the ruins where the giants bled. Unchained and restless under wide open skies, healing the ground where the innocence lies. Love is the anchor and the storm is a key to set the heart of the valley free. Iron and glass cannot replace the rain, nor the holy silence of the grassy plain. You were a shadow in the cooling wood, telling the stories we misunderstood. Now the smoke rises like a funeral shroud, and the cries of the forest are screaming loud. Yet I refuse to be a hollow machine. I'll fight for the mercy of the emerald green. The oceans are mourning the salt of their tears, counting the cost of our forgotten years. I carry the ache of the mountains in flight, searching for a spark in the gathering night. Oh, let the winds wander where they will, the iron chains on a quiet hill. I am bound to the earth by a silver thread, and moving through the ruins where the giants bled. Unchained and restless under wide open skies, healing the ground where the innocence lies. Love is the anchor and the storm is the key to set the heart of the valley free. I am bound to the earth by a silver thread.